Hello boys and girls, here comes story number 2. Now I thought, shall I do another Whiffy Wilson or shall I do a fairy tale? And I've decided on a fairy tale because I know how much you love fairy tales in assembly. So I've chosen, not my favourite, because if you remember, my favourites, well, Mr Hawkins is filming me. Mr Hawkins, can you guess which are my favourites? Have you got any clue which are my favourites?
It's a hard one.
It's difficult.
Now my favourite is chicken licking.
Chicken licking.
That is my favourite.
Which do you think are mine? There are 2 and the boys and girls might remember because I told them recently.
I'm going to say Rumpelstiltskin.
Absolutely spot on, because the reason this is one of my favourites, when I was a little girl, and the boys and girls will remember me telling them this, my brother used to be in the bedroom next door, and my mum, because he was a bit younger, would read stories to him, and I'd be in my bed reading my book, my grown-up book, my more grown-up book, but I'd shout, "Mom, read up, speak up," because I loved stories like this. So Rumpelstiltskin was one of my personal favourites. Do you know the other one? Can you guess?
I mean, you might be able to relate to the Ugly Duckling.
What do you mean?
Or the 3 Little Pigs.
What do you mean? Just because I like cake?
I'm going to say Goldilocks.
No.
No.
You got that wrong.
Oh,
it's the Elves and the Shoemaker. Absolutely love the Elves and the Shoemaker. And the boys and girls will remember recently, only just recently I told them that. But today, it's going to be Jack and the Beanstalk, because I think we need a bit of a giant in a story, and you can join in with me, Mr Hawkins, and boys and girls, you can join in too. So here we go, Jack and the Beanstalk. Deep in the countryside lived a widow and her son Jack. Their cottage was crumbling, it's all battered, and their clothes were patched. They were very, very poor. One day, Jack's mother said, "We must sell our cow. Take her to the market, Jack, and bring home some gold pieces." And so he set off to town with the cow in tow. Here we go. But before Jack had got very far, he met a strange little man. "That's a fine cow," the man said. "I'll swap you 5 magic beans for her." "Magic beans," said Jack. "Are they really magic?" "Magic they are, or chop off my head and chop off my beard and knit it into a jumper," croaked the little man. Magic beans. Jack couldn't wait to tell his mother. He clutched them tightly in his hand and he ran all the way home. Jack's mother was furious. "We need money, not useless old beans," she cried, and she threw them out of the window in disgust. Oh dear. Whoops. But late that night, a tiny bean sprout poked out from the ground, and then it grew and grew and grew. The next morning, the beanstalk stretched high into the sky. "The beans were magic," Jack cried. "But what's at the top?" Jack climbed up, up, up the beanstalk. Gosh, he's nearly at the top, Mr. Hawkins. Wow. At last, he reached the very top. There, shimmering in the sunlight, was... Let's turn over. Wow! A magnificent castle. Just then, Jack's stomach rumbled, just like Miss Phillips does quite often in the office, all the time. "I must find some breakfast," he thought, and he tap, tap, tapped on the castle door. The door creaked open, and a huge giantess smiled down. "Hello," Jack shouted up. "Please, do you have any food?" "You poor thing," boomed the giantess. Wow, have you ever seen a giantess, Mr Hawkins?
I've seen a few people that look like that around
Around
Warsaw,
our school.
our school.
She is. Oh, I don't want to be in your shoes when the staff come back after you've said that. You poor thing, boomed the giantess. Come right in, but quickly before the giant gets up. Look how big she is. Jack is even on her hand. She is a big girl. What a marvellous feast. There was an enormous loaf of bread, a gigantic jar of jam. Jack tucked in at once. But suddenly the room began to shake. Boom! 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 Goodness me! Cried the giantess. He's coming! And she shoved Jack under a teacup to hide. There he is, just under the teacup. Oh. Into the room stomped a big, scary, hungry giant. You ready to join in, Mr Hawkins and boys and girls? Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman, he said. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread. Don't be silly. There's nobody here but us, the giantess scolded. Now go and wash before breakfast. Look at his tongue. Look at his earrings. I've never seen a giant with earrings. And only 3 teeth. And very hairy eyebrows.
Very.
Jack trembled and shook. I must leave now, he thought. He was halfway down the hall when he heard a squawk. It was a hen with bright golden feathers. Help, she clucked. Set me free and I'll lay you golden eggs every morning. Well, Jack scooped up the hen, but then he heard huge footsteps thundering after them. He's back. Ready? Fee, fi, fo, fum, roared the giant. I smell the blood of an Englishman, and there he is. Jack raced out of the door. He jumped and slid whee down the beanstalk, down, 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 all the way back to his cottage. Mother, quick, bring the axe, he shouted. There's the hen as well. Jack's mother swung the axe at the beanstalk. Thwack! It shuddered and shook, and then the giant came tumbling down. Fee-fo! Crash! And that was the end of the giant. Jack hugged his mother tight. Look what I found, he said, and he showed her the golden hen. There's the golden hen. Oh, Jack, said his mother, I'm so glad you're safe. And you were right about those magic beans. So, Jack, his mother, and the golden hen all lived happily ever after, and with lots and lots and lots of golden eggs. They were never, ever poor again.
Wow.
Wow, what a lovely story. Did you enjoy that, Mr. Hawkins?
I love that one.
And boys and girls and mums and dads, I really hope you did too. So next week, perhaps we could have another. Maybe one of my favourites, the elves or Rumpelstiltskin.
Nice.
We could have a vote. Take care, everyone. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.